Hey, well, I'm not in the car. Wow, it's amazing. Yes, night before Super Bowl Sunday, I'm camped out here at a undisclosed location, and I am want to talk about truth versus opinion, fact versus opinion, opinions versus fact. People can do a lot of talking, a lot of flapping gums. But science is good for one thing. Science is good for the study of things that can be verified, replicated, like that. Well, we can't really replicate Jesus rising from the dead, but we can verify that it happened because it was verified by hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, not just one or two, not some vague report from somebody somewhere. No, it was verified in a way that can be well substantiated. And Josh McDowell, Evidence That Demands a Verdict, is one of those books that certainly demonstrates for us the veracity of the Bible. And there have been a lot of people who have been set out to prove that the Bible is wrong. The Bible is fiction. The Bible is just based only on faith and nothing else. But over and over again, from the early days of the Jewish people having certain habits and certain customs health-wise that they later showed, demonstrated that doing things the way that the Bible said to do them was really the best way to do it. It was very, very healthy. And Jesus said that the life is in the blood before science ever discovered it. So there's lots of real valid points that can be made by simply looking at God's Word. But what about in human relations? What about in a situation where there's an angry party, there's a party that's motivated by hatred, there's a party that wants to slander or put down, and how do you defend against that? How can you assuage that sort of an attack? And I was just thinking about it, and I thought, well, there's a way to validate. You can, if you go to get a parking ticket, you want to make sure that it's validated by the man, the woman that's at the counter there. And if you're going to go eat at a certain restaurant, I know up in Pasadena, they don't have any validation. But in other cities, they do have a process where you need to get your ticket validated. You need to have it stamped. And if you can have your ticket stamped, then what happens is the parking people at the end, they will say, oh, I see, you were at Joe's Bar and Grill, and Joe's Bar and Grill signed off on this. So we can see that you were, let me open this up real quick here. I'm trying to open this package, and it's taking a lot of effort here. I have my elbow is a little funny. I just want to put like a little moisture on that elbow here, and I got from Costco a really cool deal there on the Jennifer Aniston Aveeno. So, and they gave me this stuff. I don't know what it is. It's some sort of a daily moisturizing body yogurt. Yummy yum. I don't think you're supposed to eat it, but so I thought, well, as I'm sitting here doing my Devo, I will also take care of my elbow. But I had to open it, and it was really a bear to open that up, I'll tell you. So if we can validate that a person has a particular course, let's take, for example, I have an app on my phone that's called EverDrive. And the EverDrive is kind of a joke. I mean, it shows you how you're driving, and it's not really a joke, it's very accurate, but it shows exactly how you were driving, how the braking went, and cornering, and if you were speeding, and all those things. It's all tied in there. But one of the things I like about it is that they have a deal where it shows every single place that I've been. Now, some people are all up in arms. No. You're not going to tell me. You're not going to track me. You're not going to follow me. No. I don't want you to be tracking me down. I want my privacy. That's the ticket. Privacy. Well, Mr. Privacy Man, you'll love your privacy until somebody decides that they want to accuse you of something, and then all of a sudden, well, I was home, alone, in the desert, no cameras. I mean, all of a sudden your alibi is like looking really fishy. Like, why are you so alone? And why do you want so much privacy? And what do you do with your privacy? So it's better to be in a community. It's better to have fellowship with the brethren, fellowship with the sisters, fellowship with accountability. That's really what it is. It's accountability. We want to be accountable. We want to be able to say, yes, I was a certain place. Here's my validation. Here's my authentication. Here it is. You can see, obviously. And there was a case years ago of a fellow who was in Florida. And this fellow that was in Florida, he really was in Florida. And he really was with his friend. And the friend's wife was having a baby. And the water broke on the baby's mother. And the man was there. He remembered the water breaking. He remembered the whole thing, and he had receipts and he had everything. But when he got back to New York City, the cops picked him up for murder. Well, he served time in jail for murder until finally somebody with decency and common sense said, let's look at this. This looks a little suspicious. And this guy is saying that, and it turns out, I remember the story, that the people who were out in Florida, they just assumed that, I guess they didn't need me. They were told they were going to be contacted, and they just thought, well, I guess they didn't need me. Well, it turned out that the office of the officers, someone didn't ever turn in the receipts. They never turned in those receipts. And that's where the man was convicted, because they thought, well, he has these videos and he has these other things, but he could have gone there and come back and done the murder. And, but the receipts that vindicated him and showed that there was no way he was in New York City, he was actually in Florida, those were conveniently let out. So it wasn't until years later that somebody said, oh, look, we have these extra receipts. These weren't extra. These are the ones that they neglected to present. So, because of that, the man was given his freedom, because he had receipts, he had validation, he had verification. And the person who was just crying, they were a liar. So I take it real personally when someone is convicted of a crime or held accountable for something, when it's just the flapping gums. Just the flapping gums. Just people just flapping and flapping and flapping. I like to see video, DNA, actual records. Was Margaret ever arrested in the last 10 years? Has she been arrested ever? What was it for? And what happened? And if Joe has a drinking problem, how long has it been since he was drunk? How long ago does he have a drinking problem? If someone was caught stealing, had their fingers in the little till, are they still stealing from the new church they're in or the new business they're in? If someone is considered armed and dangerous. Maybe that's a little extreme. They're not wanted by the police, but they're just considered well, have they done anything? Maybe years ago they had that reputation, but have they done anything lately? Maybe the Lord convicted them. Maybe they got better. Maybe there's a lot of maybes. And so we can't just go on, oh yeah, I know, they were a bad, well, maybe they were really bad. Maybe they really did have a situation. Or maybe they were just spoken badly about. But what does the record show? What does the truth show? So today, rather than just assuming or presuming or deciding that, stop and take a look at what's going on. Yeah, but he has a special, I heard he has a label. He's got a special identification. He's great. Find out more about it. Just give people the same benefit of the doubt, the same grace and mercy and kindness that you'd want to have. And if you're having trouble with a brother or sister, just keep praying. I'm praying for the relationships in my life that are stressed and strained. I'm praying that I will be able to be loving and kind and gracious and gentle in all my ways. I'm praying for healing. I'm praying for mercy. I'm praying for grace. So join me in that, would you? Give me a call, 1-213-713-8954, 8954 green at att.net, on the Twitter, Mr. Bob at BobBob8954. Of course, you're watching Bob's Daily Diva here on YouTube, and I'll talk to you later. God bless you, and go Tom Brady.